it's your girl Shania, and I am back with another video. And this video is going to be a very long, emotional story for me because I asked everybody on my Instagram, did y'all want me to do a growing up video? Because from the snips of the little 2 videos that I posted, y'all got a little glimpse of what I've been through in life, but it is way more than what you guys know. And this is definitely not like a publicity stunt. Everything I say in this video is pure facts. Everything I say I've been through 100%. And I know it's a lot of young girls out here that's going through the same thing or been through the same thing, and I so much don't want to be famous. I just want to be like the voice for young people because they have no voice. And it's just gonna be a really long video because this is a 9-year span. You know, it's not gonna be like a 10-minute video. I'm fitting 9 years into one video, so it is gonna be a long video, but you guys probably don't want to fast forward because you're gonna need to know like every single detail because you might get confused if you fast forward. So this is really hard. Like, y'all don't understand how hard this is for me because like I'm a closed-in person and I don't like sharing like my stories or like my personal experiences of what I've been through, but I feel like it definitely needs to be heard because I want to be the voice for young teenagers who have been molested or raped in their lifetime and is still going through it but just don't know how to like get out of the situation. And I'm definitely here for you guys, and if you guys ever need anybody to talk to me, you know, just I will link my Instagram and my Snapchat. You could just text me off of Snapchat or Instagram, and I'm definitely here for you guys. So let's stop talking and let's get into this video. Okay, so I grew up in a home with just my mother. My father wasn't there because my father had other stuff going on in his life, like with the laws and stuff, so he was not there for me like 100%, but he was there for me sometimes. But I basically lived with my mother my whole entire life. So since my father wasn't there, I was basically with my mother, and my mother, like, we moved place to place a lot because I'm not sure why, but we used to move a lot. So I was about, I can't even say I wasn't even in the first, I wasn't even in the first grade yet. I was like about 5, I'm guessing 5, because I wasn't in the first grade yet. I started first grade when I was 6, so I had to have been 5 years old. So mind you, I'm only living with my mother, and I do have a little brother at the time, but me and my little brother, we have different dads. So my mother, she would always like have me go to my grandmother's house, and my grandmother, she stays in the Bronx. I'm talking about my grandmother on my father's side. My mother, she would drop me off at my grandmother's house, and she would like go out and stuff. But little did my mother know that my uncle on my father's side, he was molesting me. And reason being I did not tell anybody was because he would tell me, like, he would beat me if I told anybody. And mind you, I'm a 5-year-old girl, and this is a big person. Like, I was afraid to tell anybody, to tell my mother like this was happening. And she would always have me go over there and have like my grandmother watch me, and I would tell her all the time, I don't want to go over there, but she didn't know why, and I was too afraid to tell her. So one thing you guys need to know, if you're going through this situation, do not be afraid to speak up, because if you don't, it's just going to continue to happen, and that's the mistake that I made. So do not be afraid to speak up. You definitely have to tell somebody what's going on. They may not believe you, but at least you told them, and if they don't believe you, take it into your hands to go tell the authorities because they don't believe you. So this would happen occasionally every time I would go over there. And I can't remember exactly how my mother finally found out, but she finally found out. Her, my mother, everybody, they finally found out. And then I stopped going over there, finally. And I was really happy because as a 5-year-old and an older person is doing this to you, like, you just don't know what to do. Like, you're 5, like, you don't know what to do. Like, you haven't barely experienced life. So my mother finally found out. I forgot how she found out, but she found out, and I was so glad that she found out. I think I finally told her. I think that's how she found out. I finally told her. I can't really remember, you guys. This was a long time, but I remember he used to molest me every time I used to go over there, and I think, yeah, that is how my mother found out. I finally told her. So I was glad that got out the way. I didn't go over there no more. I mean, I did used to go over there to see my grandmother, but I did not, like, go and sleep over there. If I did go over there, my grandmother, she would, like, take me out to the store, take me shopping and stuff like that. Fast forward, we moved, and when I got to the 1st grade, we moved to Newburgh, New York. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys don't know what Newburgh is unless you are from New York and you know, like, your cities in New York. But we moved to Newburgh, New York because my mother met this guy. Of course, I'm not going to say his name, but my mother met this guy. And at first, you know, things were fine. But it's like when we moved, when my mother and him finally got their own apartment together, things just went downhill so bad, you guys. This was the worst time in my entire life. And I can't even describe to you. Every time I think about it, it gets me, I can't even describe the feeling, but it makes me, sad's not even the word, but it gives me this feeling and I don't like it. But I'm going to share this with you guys because a lot of people go through it. So she met this guy and they finally moved in with each other, and it's like I did not expect him to be the person that he turned into at all. Like, I did not. He turned into a complete monster, okay? So I was in the 1st grade and they've been together for about, no, they're not together no more, but they were together for 5 years. So when I'm explaining all this stuff, mind you guys, it's a 5-year span. This stuff was going on for 5 years. So he started beating my mother really badly, and it would be times where I get, like, put out the apartment so he could beat my mother because he didn't want me or my little brother seeing. It was just, like, really bad situation. I can't even count on my fingers how many times this would happen, and it got really bad. It just turned into a person like I didn't know. It got really bad, and he would abuse my mother. And telling you, this is how old are you when you're in the 1st grade? I was about 6 or 7, and my little brother, he's 3 years younger than me, so he was about 4, but I'm not sure if he remembers, but I definitely remember because I've been through stuff previous from this, so, like, I was kind of, like, aware. I was a smart little girl, so I knew what was going on. So I was afraid of him, of course. So first, let's start off. I was afraid of him because I would see what he's capable of, how he could put his hands on a female like that, like really badly. So I was afraid of him. So fast forward, like a couple, I can't even remember when it started. I can't. But all I remember is it started one day because my mother, she was at work, so she would leave us with him. And for all you parents, you young girls that have kids now, I advise y'all to not leave y'all kids around people because they turn out to be who they say they are not, okay? So my mother, she would leave me with him when she would go to work because my mother, she was a workaholic. She worked a lot. So every time I would come from, like, home from school, she wouldn't be there. It would just be him, and she would be at work. And that's when he would do stuff that you couldn't imagine a person doing, because when you think about somebody, you don't think, oh, they're a child molester. As soon as you meet them, you're not like, oh, they're a child molester, until you actually be with them and you have no choice but to be around them, and you figure out what people are capable of doing to you that you never thought they would do. So as my mother would be at work, mind you, this was a 5-year span. This was going on for about 5 years because they were together for 5 years. He would do stuff, inappropriate stuff, to a 10-year-old girl. Mind you, I was 7 and I'm probably 10 now. He would do nasty stuff to a 10-year-old girl that my mother did not know about. And mind you, I was too afraid to tell my mother because my mother was getting beat by this man. So if I tell her, what he gonna do? He probably gonna try to beat me too. And I was just really afraid of him. Like, my mother was afraid of him. My little brother was afraid of him. We were all afraid of him. He was just a bad person. So finally, fast forward, my mother finally left. One day she told me we were moving to Texas. And I'm just wondering, like, why the fuck are we moving to Texas? Like, this is where we're from. This is where our family stays. This is where I was born. This is where you born. This is where my little brother was born. Like, why are we all of a sudden moving to Texas out of nowhere? I then found out that we were moving to Texas because my mother met somebody new. So she broke up with the man that was molesting me for like years. And I never told my mother, mind you, I never told my mother because I was too afraid. But they did break up. And then one day she told us that we were moving to Texas. And then later on, I found out that we had moved to Texas because of a man. So when we moved there, it was already a house and whatever, and we were living with this man. I don't know him. I haven't met him a day in my life, but her mother, I mean, not her mother. My mother felt so comfortable to just up and move us with the man that me and my brother never met, never knew a day in our life. So I was living there for about 3 years before this happened. I was 15 when this happened. And something ended up happening one night when he came in my room and tried to do some inappropriate stuff to me, but I didn't let it happen. And I was like, when it happens to you as a young child, like, you like freeze. It's like you become paralyzed because you can't believe like that this is happening to you. And I could say I was freaking paralyzed. So the next day, I ended up having to go to alternative school because I did some bad stuff in school. So I ended up having to go to alternative school, and he happens to drop me off because my mother, she was at work again. She had to go to work early in the morning, so she wasn't able to take me to alternative school. So as I'm in the car getting drove to alternative school with the man that tried to rape me, he's telling me, oh, I'm sorry, and please do not tell your mom. The reason being I didn't tell my mom is because I'm thinking my mother, she is crazy, as I explained that in the How Did I Get Pregnant at 16 video. She is crazy. And I'm thinking, if I tell my mother is going to do something to this man and she is going to end up in jail. And I'm not going to be able to see my brothers for the rest of my life because I'm probably going to have to go into the foster system because I don't have no father, and I'm pretty sure nobody was going to take me in as their child. So I'm thinking, if I tell my mother going to do something crazy because I know her. I know how she is. She's going to do something crazy to this man. She's going to end up in jail. My brothers were all going to be separated, and I'm not going to be able to see them again. So that's the reason why I did not tell her. So I wasn't listening to him saying, oh, don't tell your mom. Bitch, I'm not telling her because if I tell her, she gonna hurt your ass and she gonna be in prison for the rest of her life. That's the reason being why I didn't tell her. So fast forward, I finally got the courage to tell my mother. I was in school, and I'm like, you know what? I had to tell her because I can't sit here no more in this house with this man that did this to me. So I went to my friend Camille's house after school, and I'm like, because why I tell her I can't be there, why I tell her in this man, because I don't know like what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen when I tell her and this man is in the house at the same time. So I'm like, I'm gonna go to Camille's house. I'm like, Camille, I'm gonna go to your house and I told her Camille knows exactly what happened to me. And I texted my mother this long paragraph about what happened to me and what happened to me with the previous man. I told her about that too. And she was like, Shania, are you serious? Did this really happen to you? And I'm telling her, yes, this really happened to you. Like, this shit is not made up. What happened, what I'm telling you is really what happened. So she said, okay, she about to ask him, did he do that? And he told her that he did not do that to me. So he lied to my mother and said that he didn't do that to me. So my mother then went to go say, oh, we're gonna move, you know, we're not gonna be here. So fast forward some weeks, we're still there, and I'm asking my mother, like, why are we still here? Like, I want to move. I can't be in this house no more with this man that tried to rape me. I was already here for a longer period of time because I was afraid to tell you, but now I'm telling you and we're still here. So that's what my mother wanted to say to me. Oh, We can't just up and move. We live here, da da da. Like he supports her and everything like that. Like we can't move. And I was just like so disappointed in her. I was so freaking disappointed in her. I really was. I'm like, I tell you, this man tried to do this to me, and you gonna continue to have me live in this house with him? Like, do you think this shit is a fucking game? Like, it's not a game. It's really not a game. So, fast forward a couple more. I'm not sure if this was like a month later, but I remember one day, me and my mom had gotten into an argument, and I'm telling her, like, all this stuff happened to me and you don't believe it. Like, you just sitting here like it's a game. And then that's when she went to tell me, y'all, this hurt my heart. It really did. And just thinking about it, like, it hurts my feelings all over again, and I don't like crying about it. My mother told me that I was crazy and this never happened to me. Mind you, my mother is the only person I have. I told y'all I grew up in a single home with just my mother, and she tells me I'm crazy and it's never happened to me. Nothing is wrong with me. I don't have mental issues, nothing like that. So why are you telling me that I'm crazy and this stuff never happened to me? She believed this man so strongly. She believed him so strongly, and she does not believe her daughter. Like, you are all I have. You are all I have, and you're going to choose him over me? That hurt my feelings like so much. Like, at that moment, I knew I did not have a mother no more. I knew I didn't have a mother because she sat there and told me that I was crazy and this never happened to me. Like, she said it was a dream. Like, how is this a dream? This is not a dream. This is not make-believe. I think that something is wrong with you for you to think that this never happened to me, that I'm making this up and it was a dream and it didn't happen in real life. So she said that to me, and I can't explain to y'all like how my body felt, how my mind felt, because I knew I lost my mother that day. So fast forward, my mother tells me that they're going on a trip to South Padre. A lot of y'all that stay in Texas probably know what South Padre is. And she told me I didn't have to go because she obviously knew I didn't want to be around the man that tried to rape me. So she said I didn't have to go, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go to Camille's house while y'all go on that trip because I don't want to be there. We still live in this house with this man. You got me here, da-da-da, like everything's okay when it's not. So she said I didn't have to go. And I get a text message from her because I'm at Camille's house, and she's saying I have to go to South Padre because I'm not staying at Camille's house. So I'm like, I got to go. What the fuck I gotta go for? I have no reason being going. I have no reason to go. So she ends up making me go, and I could say I was afraid of my mother. Like, everything that my mother told me to do, I did. I didn't disobey my mother. So she tells me I have to go to South Padre, and I was so freaking pissed off. I was so pissed off at her. Like, you're really making me go on this trip with this man? Really? Really? So I ended up going, and the whole time I'm there, I would sleep. I would go to sleep. I would wake up. Every single second I'm there, I keep thinking about what he did to me. I keep thinking about what he did to me, and it's making me crazy. It's making me crazy in my head, literally. So on the way, finally driving back, I had, what do you call that? When you just let everything out. Like, we're in the car, and like, I just let everything out. I'm like, you gonna sit here and believe this man, and he tried to rape me, and you gonna believe him? And she's just like, I'm not gonna say his name, but she like, don't listen to her. She's crazy. And then this man said, I know I did some messed up things. And I knew my mother heard him say that. So you don't think him saying that means he did what he did, but her dumbass, she's still gonna believe him over me. So after this, she didn't buy me no food. Mind you, this is a 9-hour drive. I didn't eat anything because she's so damn mad at me. Like, the fuck you mad at me for? You need to be fucking mad at him. So I get home. She took my phone. She took it, and I get home and I'm just like so fucking pissed at her. Like, I'm so fucking pissed. So I'm just sitting there, and she was like, oh yeah, on the way back, she telling me, you gonna go move with your uncle. You gonna go move with your uncle. So I'm like, okay. I thought I was gonna go leave the next day, but the next day I'm still there. And so I'm asking her, I walked up to her and I said, when am I gonna leave? And she's like, she doesn't know when I'm gonna leave. And I said some messed up stuff, and I said, you so caught up in this man and you believe him so much, you're gonna die in this house. I told her she was gonna die in this house, but not as if I was gonna kill her, but like, she's gonna be here so long that she's gonna be there for a while and she's gonna end up dying in that house. I can't describe to y'all. I was just so mad. I was saying stuff. So the next day, fast forward, I asked her again. I said, when am I going with my uncle? She said she don't know. Mind y'all, this, let me stop saying the story for a second and like explain to y'all. Being molested 3 times, the 3rd time was my last damn straw. I swear to God. Because the first 2 times I ain't say nothing. I held that shit in. And the 3rd time I finally told her, and she thought shit was a fucking game. And like, this shit making me mentally crazy. Like, I'm in the house with the man that tried to rape me, and you don't believe me. You believe him. That shit was making me crazy. And the 2nd day that I asked her, when am I moving with my uncle, she said she don't know. I went fucking crazy. I was breaking shit all in that house. I'm like, I need to fucking leave right now. I was breaking everything. Me and my mother started fighting. Like, it was just so fucking hectic. All because she wanted to believe him and not believe me. It was so crazy. So she sent me on a bus. She sent me on a bus with nothing, with just like a couple clothes. And that's when I finally went to go move with my uncle. And at this time, I was pregnant. Like, when I told her, she didn't believe me. This was like probably in like March. So you guys know it's about to be summertime. And in the summertime, I never wanted to be home, you know, because I didn't want to be in the house with them. So I would run off and do stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And yes, that's how I ended up pregnant, because I did not want to be in that house. So every chance I got, I was not there. So that's how I ended up moving to Houston, because my mother simply, she did not believe me. So I moved to Houston, and it was bad there too. Like, it was times I would barely could eat because there wasn't enough food in my uncle's house. And mind you, I'm pregnant. Like, when you're pregnant, you are hungry all the time. So yeah, but that's basically, yeah, that's how I'm a size in 9 years for me. I have been through a lot of stuff, and I did not let it break me down. That's what you guys have to do. Anything you go through, don't let it break you down, because it was points where when I was living with my mother, like, I didn't even want to live no more. Like, I wanted to just kill myself, because like, I was going through so much stuff. And the best way I could describe my situation is, a lot of y'all probably don't know, but solitary confinement is when you're in prison and you do something bad, and you basically like the hole. I'm pretty sure you guys probably know what the hole is. It's like being in a situation like that. It's like solitary confinement. It's meant to break you down. That's what solitary confinement is. And being in that house, it was like, it was breaking me down. It was making me crazier and crazier. That's what it does to you. When your mother don't believe you, and she just still got you sitting in the house with the man that tried to rape you, and make you crazy and make you do crazy stuff. Like, I don't want to be here. And deeply in my heart, I'm not even a killer, but deeply in my heart, I wanted to kill that man. I really wanted to kill that man for what he did to me. Not for only what he did to me, because he lied to my mother and he couldn't confess his wrongdoings. He lied. And I was even more mad at my mother because she believed him. Like, she believed nothing happened to me. She told me I was crazy. So it was like, it's just crazy, y'all. Really, like, I've been through a lot in life, and I am so glad I am where I am today, because I am the most happiest I have ever been in my whole entire life. When I mean my whole life, I mean my whole life. I am the most happiest where I am at now with my son and my boyfriend that I have ever been. It's like my mother, she was so strict. She was trying to keep me from the outside world. But little did she know, everything that happened to me was because of you. You had me around people that you so trusted so much, but you didn't know they were the devils. They were molesting me for years. I've been molested since the fucking age of 5, 6. Like, a lot of people don't go through this, but a lot of people do. And for you guys that do, the number one rule is don't stay silent. Don't stay silent, because that's exactly what they want you to do, so they can continue to doing what they do to you. They want you to stay silent. And that's what I did. I was weak at the moment and I stayed silent. But you guys, don't do that, because it's just going to continue on. And I just want you guys to know that this is not for fame. This is not for anything. It's just, you guys don't know me, you know? Like, by my face, you can never tell. Like, I'm the strongest person ever. Nobody could ever walk in my shoes. Ever. I don't have no mother. I don't have no family. I have myself, my son, and my boyfriend at this point. That's the only thing I have, literally. And I came a long way, and I'm just glad I'm still here. I'm glad I didn't take my life. I'm glad I'm still here, really. Because now I know what it feels like to be happy. So I just want you guys to always, you know, just come speak to me, because I've been through a lot. I could tell you that. Obviously, from this video, you guys know that I've been through a lot. And it's really hard for me to upload this video, because, you know, I'm letting you guys know what happened to me, and it's only like 4 people that know that this stuff happened to me, and they're the closest people to me. And I'm opening up to you guys, and I'm letting you guys know what happened to me. So that does conclude this video. It's a long video, but a lot didn't happen to me. But yeah, I just want you guys to like and definitely share this video. I want people to hear my story, and I want to be the speaker. Like, I want people to be able to be like, Shania, hey, can you come speak to this group of girls? You know, we have a group of girls that been through hard times. Like, I want to be able to speak to young girls that been in the same situation as me, but even worse, you know. I want to be able to speak to them. So guys, please share this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I will be back with some more videos. Thank you.